So, welcome to the first video of the work on my Lexus LS400. Car's been sitting here in storage for a few months now. I've bought this in August 2021 and drove it home without a valid MOT. Did some minor work to it, replaced some light bulbs and all, pumped the tires and went to the approval station. And to my surprise, it got a new MOT with some remarks. Remarks were regarding the tire, minor things, but it was safe and valid to drive for a year, so already had it insured. Otherwise, I couldn't drive it home from the place where I bought it. But I've driven it, and the more I drove it, the better it started to run. So one day, I think it was in September, decided to check things under the hood. I already, of course, inspected the oil. Oil was good. It had a new oil change. Oil was about 1,000 kilometers old, so there's no problem there. The brake fluid was flushed and renewed. The car had been sitting for 3-4 years, I believe. And in September, as I said, I was doing some work under the engine, and I cut some wires because it had an LPG, liquid petrified gas injection system in it, or it had been in the car. It had been removed, but they did a sloppy job installing it in the first place, and they actually ripped it out and let a lot of cables and hoses and wiring back. So I removed that, and after I did that, I accidentally cut a wire which I shouldn't have cut, and the car started running poorly on 4 cylinders. One cylinder bank, the right hand side cylinder bank wasn't active. So it's been sitting here for a month or 3, and today I decided to do some work. And the first thing I wanted to do, one of the things I noticed on the right hand side cylinder bank, was that the spark plugs were almost seized in place. I pulled one out, took a lot of effort, and there was a lot of dirt in the engine, under the covers and all. And I can show you later what I found. But I decided to remove the spark plugs, and I'm starting by blowing the spark plug holes out with compressed air and using the vacuum cleaner to clean things up before I remove one of the plugs, because there was a lot of oxidation in the spark plug holes in the cylinder head, and I don't want to have that fall in. So the plan for today is to clean everything around the spark plugs, then use a penetrating oil, fogging oil, WD-40, to try to loosen up things a bit. So I've pulled the first few of covers off. The front cover here, the spark plug cover over there, and a few other bits and ends. So the things I wanted to show you, I don't know if this shows well on camera. Let me adjust my light. Moment please. I think that's much better, thanks to my high-tech studio lamp my uncle once made me. You can see how the wires were cut and how they were incorporated in the main cable loom. You can see here how these hoses are plugged and cut. So I want to remove all that. I'm not pretty sure it's correctly plugged and how these wires were attached to the LPG computer. Maybe I'll replace the distributors, not sure yet. I think the spark plug wires look okay, but you can judge by looks, so I have to measure that with a multimeter. But from my point of view, they have been replaced, as is the timing belt, which looks okay to me. Not pretty sure. I don't have any information on maintenance. Don't have maintenance records. The car has done 340,000 kilometers, so for a 1 UZ it's well broken in. So let's go ahead and remove the spark plugs, or at least the plug what you call these things, I'll come to that later, remove them and clean things up under here. Well, here we are. You can hardly see inside these holes. I'll try to adjust my studio lamp here, but as you can see here, there is this white aluminum or aluminium oxidation inside this shaft, this hole. So we need to clear that out. Don't want to drop that into the cylinders when I remove the spark plugs. So let's clean that out. Yeah, thank you. Well folks, there you have it. I pulled the spark plug from cylinder 1. There's the hole. I'm sure you can't see it, but on this, see if I can point it out with my finger here, on the lower edge you can see some debris. So I didn't do a fantastic job cleaning that, but I think I'll use an oil drag to pull it out, maybe a magnet to see if it holds, if it sticks. So here's the spark plug. Nearly gave me a heart attack pulling this one out because it felt like it was secured in place with Loctite. That's how tight it was. You can see the threads, they are rusted, so no bueno. We had water ingress at some time, I think, and on cylinder number 5 you can see a small amount of water here. So glad I'm doing this. So I've got number 1, 3 and 7 out. Number 7 being this one. Let's see, it can focus and adjust. Number 7 was as stuck as number 8 was on the other side, but I realized it's the rearmost cylinder and it has the most heat buildup, so I figure that might be the reason why they are more stuck than numbers 1 and 3 already were. So now I have to get number 5 out. I sprayed some WD-40 inside there because it was wet. It seems to have a small amount of water buildup. So the next thing I'll do is blow it out with sharp air and catch it in a paper towel and see what comes out. So as you can see, there's a little mixture. It was brown rusty water, but it seemed to have mixed with oil or the WD-40. It's becoming more opaque now, so not sure I'll look inside the hole. I forgot my shop work light, so I'll have to switch the camera off and use the light. Maybe I can put it on right now. There we go. Not too bad. Well, don't worry too much. Maybe blow it out one more time with the sharp air and then see if we can remove the plug. I expect it to be very rusty, so let's see if we can pull that one out. So it's hard to get it started. This one's going much more easy than the other ones. Maybe because the WD-40 soaked in. Well, very rusty. Seem to have, not sure you can see that, some blow by, some varnish. Let's see if it will focus. There you are. You can see it has some varnish over here, so not sure what happened there. But at least we got these 4 out. So with a paper towel in all these spark plug holes, I think we're safe to prevent it from dirt getting in. So let's have a short look at those spark plugs. Well, they are a mess, and as you can see, this is number 5, the last one I pulled out. It's rusty and the threads are greasy, and it really looks like, you look over here, there has been some degree of blow by. Not sure Not sure if it has anything to do with the car running on LPG for the most part of its life. The spark plug gaps seem to be pretty wide, but I'm not sure what's common for these cars or what's common for LPG driven cars, if they deviate. I haven't looked at the specs of the spark plugs. They are Denzos. It seems, oh, let's see if he wants to focus. Well, put it down. These are Denso spark plugs, PK20R11 it says. Look at PK20R11. I'm not sure those are most suitable for the gas fueled cars or for the actual gasoline fueled cars. So the heat degree and all you have with spark plugs. Not sure if they are the correct ones, but I'll replace them anyway because this is a mess. And look up the right specifications. Maybe if you guys have a tip, please let me know down below in the comments. So we move to the even side or right hand side cylinder bank. I removed the bits and bolts, airbox, and I snapped this little tube. Stupid me. I can tell this car is in, well, I wouldn't say worse state than my previous LS was, but you can tell the hoses and plastic clamps are more brittle than I used to see from a Lexus. You can see this coolant line loop to the evaporator. You can see the hoses. There was already a light on it. How they were cut off and integrated into the cable loom, engine cable loom of the Lexus engine. As you also can see, get you guys closed up here, there's a lot of sand over here I want to clean out. You can see the throttle house, throttle body is open. So let's start by cleaning this out using the vacuum cleaner and then remove this cover. I have to remove that bolt and I leave that one there. So enough talking, let's get to work and remove that cover. Back to the spark plugs. Again, the spark plugs holes here. Doesn't look all too bad, to be honest. Bit of liquid on the downside, like in the number 5 cylinder on the opposite side. That's not too bad. Same on the lower side, and as you can see here, I pulled this one out in September. As I said, it is all rusty down inside. So I got that one out, and as I recall correctly, I reinstalled it with a bit of anti-seizure grease. And I was really worried all the other spark plugs were in as bad a shape as that number 8 cylinder was, but that's not too bad from what I see here. So what I'll do now is blow it out with air, vacuum a bit, take care nothing gets into my throttle body. And let's see how the spark plugs look inside the right hand side or the even numbered cylinder bank. Well, let's get you guys set up. Hope you don't tip over. So let's start with number 2. Oh boy. Yeah, same story. Oh, this one's really stuck. Put it back a notch and try to remove it again. Okay, that's really worrying. I'll leave that one for now. See what number 4 does. Much better. Now it's starting to bind. Remove. It feels like it's cross-threaded somehow. I'm not pretty sure. I can turn it in much further than it was when I started. You can turn it by hand now. And I can. Let's see what comes out. Oh boy, nothing. It will come out now. Yeah. Well, have a look at that. Same as on the other side. I can turn it by hand right now. I can, but not too impressed. Oh, still nothing. It is out, but yeah. Let's focus. Focus, focus, focus. Yeah, there you are. Let's get a longer extension piece. Hold on. Let's see. Where's my ratchet? There it is. Oh yeah. Look. Well, I would say this is how it should be, but let's see how it comes out. Oh yeah, see? There we are. Put copper grease on it. So it comes out. It's like a quarter, half a turn. Then it loosens and it comes out. And I must say, I was worried. Really worried I damaged the threads in the head when I removed this one back in August or September. But the threads are still good from my point of view. So and somehow, let's get you guys focused. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Yeah, this is bad. It's really bad. It's like it's put in with Loctite. So what I'm gonna do is, you hear grinding noise. It's really worrying. But I'm not in panic mode yet. Spray it in there. I'm not too worried about getting WD-40 inside the engine, but I'm more worried about the oxidation or thread particles getting inside the cylinder. You hear horror stories about that, which I understand, but I wouldn't worry all too much. The thing I could do by now is get my endoscope out and look inside the cylinder bores, but let's let it soak in for a while and then try again. So I've had it soaked in for a few minutes now, and I gently moved the spark plug back and forth. Half a rotation left, half rotation right, then back, farther back in. And I can tell the WD-40 is, well, now getting inside the thread and it's loosening up. So what I'm going to do now is blow it out as best as I can and then try to get that spark plug out. Thanks, Mr. Compressor. Let's get the light on, and this is how it looks inside now. So let's try to get this one out. If I can get the camera positioned with the obstructed view of these hoses. Sorry about that, I can move that one out. So let's have a look, see. As you can see, it's moving much better than it did before. Moving the socket, my thumb and index finger. Let's see what comes out. Well, yeah, you can see. Oh, that cat is on camera. Whoa! As you can see, this thread is, well, it's soaked. So the WD-40 did its job in just a few minutes. So thanks for that, WD-40. Well, here they are. And that's where they came from. Number 2 cylinder. Looks like the piston is in top dead center. Little bit of WD-40 residue left over there. That one, not sure if you can see this on camera, but there's a lot of blow-by residue, as it seems. And what we have here is number 6, not too bad either. It came out. Look, this was the worst one, and this was my fear, to be with all other spark plugs. But I must say it were only number 2 and this one number 8 that were most stuck. So I'm happy they came out the way they did, and now I'm going to clean up a bit and think what I'm going to do next. So yeah, that was my first video in hopefully a series of builds, successful build, repair and restoration of my Lexus LS400. I hope you guys like it, and please let me know in the comments what you'd like to see, what you like to see different the other time, and maybe subscribe and like. It would be nice, and that helps me. Well, I wouldn't say it would help me out, but it would be nice to hear your opinion and get a like. So, see you next time.